Good morning, friends. Myself, Professor A.C. Darekar from NDMAP KBT College of Engineering, Nasik. Today, we are going to discuss the important topic is called as the IP security. In this topic, we are going to cover introduction, the IP version 6 and IP version 4 header format, then security for IP datagrams, then benefits of the IP security, then IP security architecture. Let's see introduction. In this we can see the TCP/IP model having the 5 layers: physical layer, data link layer, internet layer, transport layer, and the application layer. So IP security is provide the security at the internet layer. It does not concern with the application layer security, as we know that at internet layer, so IP version 4 and 6 that plays the important role. So actually the IP security is more effective in IP version 6, and that's why first of all we'll see the IP version 4 and the 6 in detail, and then we can see how to apply the IP security to the IP datagram. Now IP datagram for the IP version 4. Now you can see there are different fields which are present in the IP version 4. The first field is that version, then HLN, then service type, total length, identification, flags, fragmentation offset, time to live, protocol, header checksum, source IP address, destination IP address, data, options. The basic difference between IP version 4 and the 6 is that IP version 4 is of 32-bit and IP version 6 is a 128-bit. Now we'll see each and every field of the IP datagram of the version 4 in detail. Now fragment identifier, it identifies the fragment of an IP packets. Then flags, it is of 3 bits and there are 2 fragmentation flags. DF, when set, DF flag indicates that the payload cannot be fragmented. So DF is nothing but the don't fragment. MF is nothing but the more fragment, and when it is set, so MF flag indicates that there are more fragments. Then fragment offset, it indicates position of the data fragment relative to the beginning of the unfragmented data. So it offset is measured in multiple of 8 octets. Protocol, it identifies the protocol carried as the payload data. For example, ICMP that refers the 1, TCP that refers the 6, UDP that refers the 17. Source and destination address, this field contain the source and destination IP address and each of 32 bits. Some other fields are also included or present in the IP version 4 packet. The version, it indicates the actually version of the internet protocol. IHL or H-length, it indicates the length of IP header in multiples of 4 octets. So in some book it is shown IHL, internet header length, and in this it is described as HLN. Then service type, so in some book it is referred as TOS or DSCP. So differentiated service code point, that is the DSCP, that specifies the service quality to be accorded to the IP packet. In some book actually the name it is described as a TOS, type of service. The meaning of both are same. Then total length, it is the total length of the IP packets including payload in octets. TTL, time to life, is the specified life of an IP packets in second. Header checksum, it is used for detection of transmission errors in the IP header. And Options and padding, it contains the various options chosen by the source, and padding bits ensure that the size of the IP header is multiple of 32 bits. So these are the fields of the IP datagram of version 4, IP version 4. Now IP version 6. I already explained the basic difference is that IP version 4 is a 32-bit address and IP version 6 is a 128-bit address. So we can see here different fields of IP version 6: version, differentiated service, flow label, payload length, next header, hop limit, source address, destination address. So we'll see here one by one in detail. The IP version 6 header has a fixed length of 40 octet that consisting of following fields: version. Version is a 4 bits. So internet protocol version number, that values is 6. Second field is that differentiated service. So that field we have already seen in IP version 4 also. That is ECN field or the DS field. This differentiated service field is of 8 bits and it is available for use by originating nodes and or forwarding routers for differentiated services and congestion functions, which are already described in IP version 4 as a differentiated services. Then flow label, it is of 20 bits and it may be used by host to label those packets for which it is requesting special handling by routers within the network. Payload length, it is of 16 bit. The length of the remainder of the IP version 6 packet following the header in octet. In other words, this is the total length of all the extension header plus the transport level packet data unit. Next header, it is of 8 bit and it identifies the type of header immediately following the IP version 6 header. So this will either be an IP version 6 extension header or higher layer header such as TCP or UDP. Hop limit, it is of 8 bits. The remaining number of allowable hops for this packet. The hop limit is set to some desired maximum value by the source and decremented by 1 by each node that forward the packet. So the packet is discarded if hop limit is decremented to 0. This is simplification over the processing required for the time to life field in IP version 4. In other words, we can say that it is similar to the TTL field which are mentioned in the IP version 4. Source address, it is of 128 bit and the address of originator of the packet. Destination address, it is also 128 bit address and the address of the intended recipient of the packet. Now there are different security for IP datagrams. What are the different security it provides to the IP datagrams? The first one is that confidentiality of the payload. Then second one, source and content authentication. The third one, reply detection and avoidance. 4, access control. 5, limited traffic flow confidentiality. And last one, secure tunnels for implementing virtual private networks. The public internet and IP datagrams are inherently insecure. An intruder can read the contents of an IP datagram and analyze the traffic. So, an intruder on the internet can easily manipulate the contents of a datagram, including its IP address and port numbers. So, it can copy and reply the old IP datagrams. So, there is no guarantee that a received datagram originated from the source address in its header or its contents not having been modified or exposed to an adversary. So IPsec is designed to provide these are the security services for the IP datagrams, which are already mentioned here: confidentiality of the payload, source and content authentication, reply detection and avoidance, access control, limited traffic flow confidentiality, and secure tunnels for the implementing virtual private networks. So access control refers to discarding the datagrams which are unauthorized. So traffic flow confidentiality refers to hiding the source and destination IP address, TCP or UDP port numbers, the payload protocols, and the length of the message between two nodes. Note that IP security does not offer the non-repudiation. So IPsec provides the above services using the combination of cryptography algorithms and the security protocols. So the two security protocols, that is AH and ASP, we will discuss in the next video. Now benefits of the IPsec. IPsec having the many benefits. So some of the benefits which are mentioned here. The first one is that IPsec is application transparent. Therefore, existing applications need not be reconfigured when IPsec is implemented. So applications may not need their own security implementation. If they still do, IPsec places no restrictions. Another benefit is here: consistent security policy independent of various applications, and it can be applied at the network layer. IPsec provides the security services to the higher layer, which can be TCP or UDP. IPsec can provide security services to other protocols carried out as a payload in the IP datagrams, for example BGP, OSPF, IGMP and ICMP. Then IPsec is also implemented at IP layers of the end system, gateway routers, firewalls, mobile hosts, etc. That is, intermediate routers in the internet need not be IPsec aware. Then QoS, quality of services, can be implemented independent of the IPsec. An IP datagram can be provided authentication protection or privacy protection or both. IPsec protection can be applied to the payload of the IP datagram or the full IP datagram including the IP header. IPsec can provide secure tunnels for creating VPN, that is virtual private networks, on the public internet. Now, in these slides, we are going to discuss IPsec architecture. There are basically different components of IPsec are involved in this architecture. Basically 4 components. The first component is that security policy database, SPD, security association, SA, security association database, SAD, internet key exchange protocol, that is IKE protocol. So you can see the diagram: host A and host B, IPsec host A or device and IPsec host B or device. So IKE protocol. So all these 4 components should be there at each host. So you can see here their relationships between these protocols. So we will discuss one by one in detail in the next slide. The first one is that security policy database. When an IPsec aware host or network device, for example router, has an outbound or inbound IP datagram, it needs to know what security processing is to be applied to the datagram. So IPsec aware host or device has a security policy database. So SPD is a consulted for each outbound and inbound datagram. A datagram is discarded, allowed to bypass IP security or secured according to policy specified in secured policy database. So security policy to be applied to the datagram is determined using the subset of various fields in the IP datagram. These fields such as source address, destination address, payload protocol, source port, destination port, flow label, which are mentioned in IP version 6, and DSCP, differentiated services, etc. For example, an outbound IP datagram with the following parameters like source address, source port, destination port, and policy is secured using the ESP protocol in transport mode, and the parameters of security policies, for example encryption algorithm key, are specified in security association database. So security association database we'll discuss in the next slide. So security association. So first of all, security association. So having determined the security policy, the two communicating IPsec aware peer must agree on the cryptographic keys and algorithms to be used. So security associations is a set of mutually agreed security algorithms. For example, HMAC SHA-1 for authentication and 3DS for encryption. Association keys and other parameters, for example lifetime of the keys between the two IPsec peers. Separate security associations are defined for each direction of communication because security policies can be asymmetric. Therefore, each session requires at least two security associations for both way communication. So you can see in diagram. So figure A and figure B. So figure A, IPsec aware host network device A and another IPsec aware host network device B. So that shows the security association 1 and 2 in between the A and B. So there are two IPsec protocol, authentication header and the encapsulating security payload, and there is separate security association for each IPsec protocol. Therefore, if two IPsec peers decide to use both the protocol, 4 security associations are required for two-way communication between them. Security associations are negotiated and implemented using IKEY, Internet Key Exchange Protocol, which we'll describe in the last slide, and are maintained in the security association database, and each security association is associated with an identifier, security parameter index. SPI, that is security parameter index, is carried in the IPsec header and is used by the receiving entity for identifying the security association in its security association database. Now the third components here where we have to discuss security association database. So active security associations are held in a security association database, and this SAD contains the parameters of each active security association. So some of the security association parameters are listed here. The first one, sequence number counter. So this is 32-bit field is used to generate the sequence number field, which is used in the EH and ESP header. Sequence counter overflows. This flag indicates whether the overflow of the sequence number counter should generate an audible event and prevent further transmission of packets on this security association. Anti-reply window. It is of 32-bit counter field and a bitmap, which are used to detect if an incoming EH or ESP packet is a reply. EH authentication. EH authentication cryptographic algorithm and the required key. ESP authentication. ESP authentication cryptographic algorithm and the required key. ESP encryption. ESP encryption algorithm key, initial vector and initial vector mode. then IPsec protocol mode indicates which IPsec protocol mode, for example transport or the tunnel mode, should be applied to edge and ESP traffic. Then path maximum transfer unit, PMTU, the maximum size of an IP datagram that will be allowed to pass through a given network path without the fragmentation. Lifetime, specify the life of the security association. After this time interval, the security association must be replaced with a new one. And the last one is internet key exchange protocol. So security associations are negotiated and implemented using IKEY protocol. So IPsec requires supports for negotiating and establishing the security associations and for key exchange. So this supports is provided by the IKEY protocol. Basically the IKEY protocols are nothing but the ISA KMP and Oakley key creation protocol. When an IPsec node receives an IP datagram, it consults SPD, security policy database, and if an security association is required to be established, IKEY protocol is invoked to establish security association. So this IKEY protocol we'll discuss in the next video lecture in detail. Thank you. The slide contents which are referred from the book Cryptography and Network Security by Atul Kahate and another book Cryptography and Network Security written by the Prakash Gupta.